Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Frugalisama. My name's Sam. This is where I talk about all things sewing. And today is day 2 of Vlogmas and my little sustainable sewing twist on it. So I'm going through the alphabet, so day 2 will be B, letter B, and I had so many options for this, but carrying on from the theme yesterday from the Amazon, I thought I would go with B for buying. So I've got some statistics, and then I've got a little tutorial for you at the end. So if you stick with it for that one, and that's also letter B. B for buying, because Christmas seems to mean more stuff. A lot of these facts have come from a Sustainable-ish podcast by Jen Gale, but the actual facts and figures have come from finder.com. So here you go. What do you think the average British household spends at Christmas? So it's well over £1,000. That's including the decorations and the food and presents and what have you. But that equates to around about 50% of the average British monthly income. And for a Christmas dinner, it comes to something like £300. More shocking of that is that how much of it is unwanted and wasted. We love leftovers in our house. we know we purposely buy more things so that we can eat it throughout the Christmas period. My husband likes nothing more than a cold plate of meat with the pickles and chips or whatever. It's also the thought of the unwanted gifts as well. I tend to ask my friends and family what they want rather than have surprises, so that at least if I'm making something, I know that it's something that they actually want. I know some people like a surprise, and it's great to have a surprise, but the average amount spent on unwanted gifts is £41. So over 21 million Brits receive a gift that they don't want, which totals over £5 billion, which is just unbelievable. 23% of people in Britain keep their unwanted gifts. 22% choose to re-gift them. 2 in 5 Brits say the favourite part of Christmas is actually spending time with family. So that's the best thing for me, is spending time with family, not the actual gifting part of it. More women than men say that they receive gifts that they don't want, and 71% of millennials receive gifts that they don't want. That's sort of the biggest of all generations. But other than gifts is the plastic waste. And apparently the UK generates the equivalent of the weight of 3.3 million emperor penguins. I mean, that's a statistic that you're not going to forget. So according to businesswaste.com, the amount of plastic packaging that was placed in general waste bin, not in the recycling, in 2018 was estimated to be over 114,000 tonnes. The packaging for toys and gifts that's discarded is in approximately 100 million black bags every year. And during the festive season alone, approximately 125,000 tonnes of food wrapping plastic, or cling film as I call it, is discarded. So on that note, here's a lovely little gift idea for you. This is a tutorial that's on the Hearth and Vine blog. So it's a photo tutorial. I thought I'd put it together in a quick little video for you. This can be really quickly and easily made with scrap fabric. It's a bowl cover, and you just use it instead of cling film. So I've made it with leftover fabric, or you can make it with fat quarters. I've made it in a seasonal fabric, but really, ideally, if you make it in a neutral fabric like a gingham or a stripe like these, bowl's going to fall off my lap. If you make it in a gingham or a stripe, or to match the recipient's kitchen, the colour theme at least, then at least they know it's handmade and they know that you've put some thought into it. But a great conversation starter as well, I think, for people who, you're trying to sort of get on board with a sustainable lifestyle. So you can use this instead of cling film. I wouldn't put it in a microwave. It won't keep things in the fridge fresh for as long as cling film would, but it's still a couple of days, it'll be fine. And it's great for if you're having a party, makes it look pretty on the party table, and it would, it keeps the kids off, it keeps the dogs off. If you're using it during the summer, it keeps the flies off. It just makes it look a little bit nicer than cling film, or indeed foil. Right, as a set, you can do 3 or 4 of them. I think you can get about 2 of a fat quarter at this size. This is a 20-inch diameter. No, it's a 20-inch circumference. So you can get about 2 or 3. You can make it in different sizes. Make it in a tightly woven cotton or a poplin or something like that. Quilting cotton's ideal. Cotton lawn, a lighter weight home deck fabric will be okay as well, or even an oilcloth. Or you could even actually coat it in a beeswax, and then you wouldn't have to put the elastic in. So I will cut to the tutorial for you, and I will be back afterwards. So for this project, we're making fabric bowl covers, and these are ideal for parties, for keeping the insects off, or small children or dogs, just to cover your food, and you can put them in the fridge. I've chosen 100% cotton. This is a fat quarter, which is about 18 inch by 22 inches, which equates to 46 centimetres by 56 centimetres. You can use a cotton poplin or, you know, any kind of sort of tightly woven cotton. Don't use something with an open weave, because obviously that will permeate any kind of smells or anything like that. And also cotton will go in the wash as well, so that's ideal. It's an ideal gift, is this. It's a good way of using scraps, and it's a good gift for like a stocking stuffer, even a housewarming gift or something like that. This is a tutorial from the Hearth and Vine blog, but I'm just putting it on film for you to see how quick and easy it is. Because it's cotton, it will go in the washing machine. I wouldn't put it in the microwave personally, and it's not going to have the same effect as cling film, as it will keep your food fresh for a long time. But it will keep off, you know, it will keep in a day or 2, just keep things fresh. The things that you need, apart from your fabric, is a bowl to draw around. This is a 20-inch circumference. Scissors, I've got pinking shears here. If you've not got an overlocker, use pinking shears. Normal scissors if you're going to use your overlocker, or you can just use the zigzag stitch. You don't need any specialist equipment. Piece of elastic, which is 5 inches shorter than the circumference of your bowl, so mine's 15 inches. Ideally it should be a 1/4 inch wide, but I didn't have 1/4 inch, so we've got 1/2 inch wide there. I've just got a little seam gauge here to measure off the round circle, and then something to thread your elastic with. I've got a little bodkin here and matching thread. And if you want to make yourself a template, then you'll need some cardboard and scissors and something to draw with. So I'm going to do it onto the cardboard, because that way you will be able to see more clearly. But you can draw straight onto your fabric, that's absolutely fine. So place your bowl on top of your cardboard, draw around it like I have here, and then you would need to allow yourself a 2-inch gap. So if you're going straight onto your fabric, then you need to draw onto your fabric, draw around your bowl, and then draw another circle around that, which is 2 inches wide, which is where this comes in. So you just measure off 2 inches all around and then cut straight onto your fabric. So you can either do it on the paper template or straight onto the fabric. It's entirely up to you. I find the paper template is a little bit easier, because then you can see how many will fit onto a fat quarter. So in this instance, for a 20-inch bowl, because we've gone that 2 inch either side wider, it will only actually fit 2 across the width. And I don't think you're going to get another one down there. You might just squeeze another one in at the bottom. You might be lucky and get 3. So depending on the size of your bowl, depends on how many you get. You could pile your fat quarters up, so you could cut 2 or 3 at once, just to save time. Cut the fabric first, and then I'll come back. Okay, so there you've got your fabric circle. I'm just going to go take that to the overlocker now and just go around that edge, and then I'm going to press it down by about 1/2 inch all the way around. So that's it overlocked, and if you don't have either an overlocker or pinking shears, you can just zigzag this. You just need something to stop it from fraying. If you've got a machine that's got a foot like this is an overcast foot, and that will give you the same effect as that, more or less. Comes with, certainly comes with the electronic genomes. It might not come with the more basic machines, but the electronic genomes it does come with. So next thing you're going to do is take that to the ironing board and iron it under by about 1/2 inch. So you want a 1/2 inch seam all the way around there, or a casing rather, so that it fits your elastic. So a quick tip for that is instead of trying to guess at the ironing board, if you just go around your fabric and measure 1 inch from the edge and make a little marking, this is awkward, make a little marking, and then iron up to that marking. So that'll give you your 1/2 inch that you need. Okay, so that's it pressed down, and you'll find that it won't sit perfectly. That's fine. You're ironing around a circle, so it won't sit perfectly. Now we're just going to sew around the edge of the circle, as close to the edge as possible, and leave yourself a 2-inch gap so that you can thread that elastic in your casing. Okay, so once you've got them all sewn up, leaving yourself a little gap here to thread through the elastic, put your elastic either on a safety pin or a bodkin. I find these a lot easier. It just grips it really nice and tightly. I find sometimes with a safety pin, the safety pin comes undone, but whatever you've got. And then you're just going to thread the elastic through the casing. So let me see if I can demonstrate that way. So you're just going to thread it through the casing. I would suggest that you anchor that down with a pin so it doesn't come all the way through. And then when you get it all the way through, you're going to sew the 2 ends together. Got the elastic through. I've just put a pin in and overlapped the elastic there. Make sure it's nice and straight. And I'm just going to sew these 2 ends of elastic together using a zigzag stitch. Once you've secured your elastic, just make sure you just pull it through and even it out. And then that last bit there, this last bit here, just wants sewing down. So you can either do that by hand, or back to the machine, it's up to you. If you've used a zigzag stitch, don't forget to change it to a straight stitch. And that's it, job's done. You've made yourself a fabric bowl cover. And it fits this perfectly. It's nice and snug with that 5 inch less than the actual circumference. It does give you a nice sort of tight cover. It's not going to go anywhere that. It's nice in a festive fabric, but I would suggest making these in something a bit plainer so that they can be used all year round. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I think these would be great as little stocking fillers, or put 2 or 3 together as a gift, wrap them up nicely. A housewarming gift even, it doesn't have to be for Christmas if you do it in a neutral fabric, gingham or something like that. Also, you could do it as a kit. You could put some produce bags in there, you could put in beeswax wraps, or you could put the reusable face cleaner things in as well. I'm going to put this tutorial in a separate video, so if you see a notification come up again for it, that's why, because I thought it'd be useful to keep it separate from all the rest of the Vlogmas video as well. So that's it from me today. Let me know if you've made anything like this before, or if you're going to make some, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. I'll speak to you later. Bye.